Hi, it's me, Claire again, and I just did a video today about lupus and hormones and about getting your period as a woman and how it affects you. And right away, I got a comment, I got a private message from a male friend of mine who really asked me about periods. He said that most men have no idea what's really going on there, are afraid to ask, or just don't want to know. So I decided, hey Claire, do a video for the men. So this little video here is a little educational video for the men. As I mentioned before, I, Claire Kaiser, like millions of other women today, are having their period. On top of having my period, I also have a chronic illness which makes me feel and look like crap. What happens when a woman has her period? Well, obviously, women who have their periods are able to become pregnant usually. So what's going on is once a month, a woman ovulates. Yes, a woman has more eggs, more balls than men do. Millions. We have millions of eggs. We're born with them. They're in our ovaries. And once a month, an egg shoots out of the ovary. We're not talking about power ejection, people. We're talking it just boop, comes out of the ovary. This in itself can be painful for a woman. It's called ovulation. Some women feel it, some don't. I feel it. It hurts down at the bottom of my stomach, near my hip, towards my bladder. It hurts on one side or the other because usually you ovulate on your right side, and the next month your left side, and so on and so forth for months from the time you're like 13 years old until you're like 50. So the egg gets released, it travels along the fallopian tube, and then it goes into the uterus and awaits sperm for fertilization. So in other words, if a woman doesn't become pregnant, uh, she gets her period, the egg dies. What is the period? The period is actually blood and other tissues that forms on the inside of the uterus once a month. It's like a pillow. It forms a pillow for that baby so that it's like a cushion for the baby. It's preparing itself. A woman's body is preparing itself for pregnancy every month. Is basically what's going on. When the pregnancy doesn't occur, the egg dies, and then the uterus contracts. The uterus is a muscle, and you men think you've got muscles. You don't got no muscle in your body as powerful as a uterus. A uterus can push a baby out into the world, and that is power right there. You ain't got no muscles like that. So the egg dies, and the uterus starts to contract, and then the blood and tissue material that is on the lining of the uterus comes out through the cervix, which is another part of a woman that's attached to the uterus. It's like the mouth of the uterus. It opens up a little bit, and through these contractions, these muscle contractions, and I know that all of you men have had maybe a muscle cramp in your leg after sports. Well, with us, it's going on inside of our uterus once a month. It's cramping up like that. And it cramps, and then the blood comes out of the vagina. Yeah, the vagina. So, this all sounds pretty peaceful. Well, it's not. It hurts. The whole body, your hormones change during this whole time. When you're ovulating, for me personally, I usually feel like, oh my God, I want to have sex, 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 I want to further the human species. And then when I have my period, I feel like I look right now. Horrible. Swollen, bloated, water retaining, cramping, miserable human being. And I have to deal with this not just one day, not just a few hours, for 5 to 7 days, sometimes longer, sometimes it's shorter. During that time, my body releases blood. It's not a lot of blood. Some women bleed more, some women bleed less. But if everything's normal, it's not like she's going to die from losing this blood. It's not the same kind of blood as when you cut your artery. It doesn't squirt out of there. It doesn't just come out in a stream. It it comes out in clumps, and it's thick, and it's red, and yeah guys, that's what it's like. So when you go to the bathroom as a woman, when you're having your period, and then you have blood all every time. And what does a woman have to do? She has to wear something, a pad, like a diaper or a tampon, which goes up inside the vagina. And no, guys, that doesn't feel good. It's not a nice, pleasant experience. A tampon, there's nothing sexual about a tampon at all. So, don't get any ideas there. And that's basically what happens. And then the blood slowly changes color. It goes back, and then it stops until around 28 days later. Then the process starts again. So a woman is having this every month, all of her childbearing years, which is can be decades of this. And then when it's going to stop, when she's going to go through the menopause, going to go through perimenopause and menopause, then she gets hormones, the hormones change, and basically we get kind of nuts. We get hot flashes, our hair falls out, we have all kinds of problems, and then we can feel bad for as long as that takes. My mom, it took her 10 years to go through the menopause. She had her periods until she was 59 years old. So, men, have some empathy, have some sympathy. Don't make fun of your woman when she's having her period, and don't make jokes about it because it's really not funny, and it really is a human process that women have to go through, and it's hard, just like childbirth and a lot of other things that we do have to go through. Look at me. This is how I feel. This is how I look. This may be how most women feel when they get their period, but they still have to fuck it up and go through the day bleeding. So, and cramping. So that was my video for all you men out there. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a nice day.